So this is a little troubleshooting video for Heath's wheelchair. For his remote to work, the light on the receiver has to be lit. There's a red button underneath of here that should always stay on, but if it's off, the remote will not talk to it. So that receiver is on and stays on all the time. The same thing over here. When his chair is on, the red light for the head array should be on. If that red light is not on, even when he's in drive 1 or 2, his head switches will not work. So again, that light should stay on all the time. There's no drain to the battery, so keep this red light on all the time and this red light on all the time. Some of the other things that can go wrong are if the chair is on and you take it out of gear and you push reset to try to make it go, it's going to read on the display box right brake fault, or it might say left brake fault. Even if you come down here, and put the brake back in gear, it does not clear the fault. It's a safety feature that once it says right or left brake fault, you must turn the chair off, give it a second, and turn it back on, and push your reset, and then that fault will be clear, and it will always tell you when the chair is ready to drive. If you push this button, it tells you what's going on. This is the seating functions. Again, you're tilting back and tilting forward. PS stands for power seating, and to put it back in drive, you push it again. To toggle up for Heath's drive, you click it forward. Drive 1 is a little bit slower. Drive 2 is a little bit faster. And in drive 3, Heath can actually work his own tilt with his left and right switch of his head array. So left switch takes him down, right switch takes him back. So if you sit Heath at a movie or in an assembly room or something like that, he can actually tilt himself to his comfort up and down. Just be careful if you park him near a table, when he starts to tilt up, his feet could catch the table and you don't want him to topple a table over. Some of the other faults you might get are when he is actually driving the chair. So if Heath's driving, it says ready to drive. If Heath's driving and I get nervous and I shut him down with the remote, and he comes off of here, you can see over here where it says release the reset. So that means that something's activating one of his 3 resets. One is here, one is in my hand, which was what I'm holding, and the other one is up here for him to use. So if the display box is telling you to release reset, you have to look and see which one's being activated, and currently it's the one in my hand. As soon as I release it, it tells you ready to drive. If he's on a switch and I shut him down and I release the reset, it's going to tell you, oh, it didn't do it. Let me try that again. So he's driving, I'm going to shut him down. He stays on the switch and I release the reset. It's going to tell me to release the joystick, and that means he's still on the switches. He has to take his head off the switches, and it'll clear that fault, and it'll tell you ready to drive, and then he'll be able to go again. The only other one you have to worry about is when you first put him in, when I first turn the chair on again, it's going to tell you press reset. I'm going to press the reset, and I'm going to put him, he's on the switches, and I'm going to put him in 1. It's going to tell you neutral testing. So take a picture of this one. When it tells you neutral testing, it means he's touching the switches when you put him in his driving mode. He has to release his head. It clears the switch. It clears the fault. And now pick your head back up, buddy. And now he'll be able to drive again. So release reset means a reset switch is being touched. Neutral testing means he's touching a switch when you put him in drive mode, and he just has to clear his head from the switches. Release joystick means you've shut him down. He has to clear his head from the switches. Good job. I have you shut down for a second. So he's trying to go back into his classroom right now. We're going to take you out of the classroom for a minute. We have to take a couple more pictures.